Welcome to Wilson Partitions. With locations in California, Texas, and Connecticut, Wilson is the source for interior aluminum doors, frames, sliders, and glazing systems. This video will go over the installation instructions for a Wilson barn door slider. Locate the opening by checking the box contents provided. The box and opening numbers will be written on the end of the packages. Note that larger units may require more than one box. Check the dimensions and square of the rough opening. The rough opening width should be the cased opening inside width, plus the daylight opening of the side light, plus the width of the intermediate vertical, plus 1.5 inches. The rough opening height should be the cased opening height plus 3/4 of an inch. Refer to the drywall framing instructions on our website for important information regarding stud placement and other framing requirements. First, slip the cased opening header and glazing header over the drywall. Note, trim the factory installed vinyl if necessary. A push-in vinyl is available for both sides of the glass. Align them using the TC2 clips provided. The pieces should butt up tight against the clip and be centered in the opening. Make sure the hump of the clip is facing in towards the opening to allow room for the trim to be snapped on. If the jambs were ordered with scribe, cut the jambs to the required height. With the header level, hold the cased opening jamb at an angle and slip the upper portion over the wall. Then push the rest of the jamb over the wall, making sure the jamb is plumb. Repeat with the glazing jamb, making sure the factory installed vinyl is on the same side as the header. Align the frame to the scheduled opening width, making sure the jambs are equal and plumb. The scheduled opening width is to be maintained on both sides of the jambs. Attach the CC1 corner clips using 1/2 inch self-tapping pan head screws. The header will overlap the jambs at 5/8 of an inch on each side. Check the square, plumb, and opening width. Anchor the cased opening jamb and header to the wall using 1 5/8 self-tapping drywall screws. The screws to be placed approximately every 12 inches on center. The attachment should roughly align on all frame faces. Note, if using the optional receiver channel, the screws must be countersunk at the receiver channel side of the cased opening jamb at this time. Snap a chalk line between both jambs for intermediate vertical and sill alignment. Bring the cased opening glass jamb up under where the two heads meet. This leg should have a glass pocket already attached to the back side. Insert the leg of the TC2 clip into the top of the jamb. Make sure the scheduled opening width is correct and fasten the clip on each side. Anchor the optional sill starter to the floor. Additional wood blocking may be required here depending on the weight of the glass. Attach the SC1 clips to the sills. Hold back the clips slightly from the ends and 1/4 inch in from the sides to snap on the glass stops. Fasten the seals to the verticals using SC1 clips. Snap on the glass stops. Attach the glass jamb to the wall. Notch the header trim above the strike jambs around the TC2 clips. Measure the opening and cut off any excess from the bottom of the trim if necessary. Be careful not to cut the factory notched or mitered end. Starting with the header, the trim should be snapped on using a rubber mallet. Install by hooking the outside legs and lightly tapping towards the inside edge. When the trim snaps on, it should fit snugly. If using the optional receiver channel, the header trim will overlap the notched receiver channel by 1/2 inch. Attach the 1 3/4 shim plate and barn door track on the side door of the header through the drywall into the wood blocking using the screws provided. The track should be flush with the end of the cased opening jamb. The shim plate should be held back 1 inch from the end of the case opening jamb. Install the floor guide to the bottom of the jamb. Drill 3 pilot holes using the floor guide as the template. Secure the guide to the jamb, making sure the screws are flush with the guide. Do not over-tighten. Attach the hanger plates to the top of the door using the screws provided. Make sure to follow the hole pattern provided in the submittal. Set the door on top of the floor guide and tilt the door up into position. Lift up slightly on one end of the door and engage the roller with the hanger plate. Repeat with the other side of the door. Open the door until you have 5 3/4 inch overlap of the door past the cased opening glass jamb and hold it in place. Loosen the 2 screws on the black stop and position it behind the door. Tighten down the screws. Note, do not over-tighten the stop screws. Finally, snap on the track fascia, then screw on the end caps. And that's how you install the Wilson barn door slider. If you have any questions, visit our website at wilsonpart.com.